Hi, I'm Ling, and this is my 3D modeling project called Hanoi Metroskates. For this project, I created a concept that combines two things that are very meaningful to me. They are roller skates and Hanoi's famous train street cafes. This idea connects my childhood hobby with an iconic part of Vietnamese culture. I have been roller skating since I was like 2, so skates have always represented youth, energy, and personal expression to me. At the same time, the train street is one of the most unique and memorable places in Hanoi. It is not necessarily a traditional landmark, but it holds a special place in the hearts of many locals. One of my strongest memories of Train Street was visiting on New Year's Eve with my family. We sat together drinking coffee while waiting for the train to pass only a few feet away. The shared anticipation and excitement inspired me to combine this landmark with something that has always been a part of my life. So moving on to style references, I was inspired by the work of Alberto Miogo, particularly his series The Witness. His work combines realistic modeling with highly stylized textures, including bold outlines, painterly strokes, and expressive scribbles. I wanted to apply the same idea to my project by modeling the roller skate realistically while giving it a hand-drawn and energetic surface treatment. And I was also influenced by Alvaro Escobar, whose artwork uses patterns, text, and graphic elements to create texture and movement. So I believe that combining these two influences can help me develop a youthful and vibrant aesthetic. And for the final environment, I plan to create a collage-like representation of Hanoi's Train Street, where buildings and cafes are condensed together rather than following strict perspective rules. Now let's talk about my progress. About the process after assignment 1, I combined all the parts and began UV unwrapping. To save texture space, I deleted duplicate objects such as wheels, signs, and buttons, and I unwrapped only one version before duplicating them again afterward. This allowed the duplicated pieces to share the same UV space. I also stacked the UV shells for parts that use the same material, especially the metallic components. For the main shoe body, I studied real shoe seam patterns and placed my UV cuts along the seams so that the textures would appear more natural. Once the UV mapping was complete, I smoothed out the model. I intentionally did this after UV unwrapping because working with lower resolution geometry made the seam cutting process much easier. Moving on to texture painting, I painted all my texture in Clip Studio Paint. First, I organized and labeled every UV shell so that I would not get confused during painting. Here's a video of my progress while I talk about it. My progress began with a clean base color layout, and after that, I painted the main graphic patterns on the shoe, and it was a bit difficult at first to align the lines across different UV islands, but it took a few tries. One of my favorite ways to make an object feel more believable is to add some aging and wear. After establishing the base colors, I used textured brushes to paint dirt, dry raindrops, scratches, and scuff marks. The metallic parts received many scratches to simulate worn stainless steel, while the white sections of the shoe were given subtle discoloration. I then added some hand-drawn scribbles and graphic marks to reinforce the stylized look. On the same texture sheet, I painted the specular map. My general rule was simple. Metallic parts were made highly reflective, while rubber and fabric surfaces were kept much duller, and the bump map was used more subtly. I only added some dents to the scratches of the sole and raised the depth to the lettering on the license plate. And then I also applied a tune outline in Autodesk Maya using the Assign Outline feature. By offsetting the line work and varying the line thickness, I was able to recreate the bold illustrated style of my references. So I had this model ready for the feedback session. During the session, my classmates gave several useful suggestions. I added some more dirt and scratches to the sole so that the wear matched the rest of the model. I also enhanced the license plate to make the text appear more three-dimensional. I never really considered adding detail to the inside of the sole, the shoe, until someone pointed it out, and I ended up adding a halftone texture and my signature, which made the skate feel more personal and realistic. The feedback also helped me to refine the specular map by clarifying which materials should appear shinier and which should remain matte. So, for assignment 3, I will build a corner of Hanoi's Train Street surrounded by cafes and urban details. My goal is to create a project that feels energetic, nostalgic, and distinctively Vietnamese. I hope it encourages young audiences to appreciate this unique cultural landmark and the memories associated with it. Overall, I just wanted to make something visually exciting and personally meaningful. Combining vehicles and footwear has always made sense to me because both are beautifully designed objects. By merging them, I hope to highlight the craftsmanship and personality found in both forms. So we have reached the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for listening. Bye!